Alright, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of North Korea. That's right. The global superpower, right? Are we? We're not. We're very close. We will be, though. We will be a superpower. We'll make it happen. So, what we're going to do, since we've started moving our Air Force into position, we're going to make sure we can get everything right. Weird that we need supply here. I'm going to go ahead and move more planes into areas where we're going to need them. Penghu is going to need an upgrade. So let me make sure. If I see an airbase, I need to get it pushed to the top of the queue. Just want to make sure all the air yards we have, or airfields available, are maximized. Go ahead and add shipyards and civilian industry up to the top of the queue. Yeah, I really don't. I'm not gonna put airplanes in these forward airfields yet. I'll wait to do that, but we will load up Taiwan here. And we're gonna go ahead and use our scrap supply planes here. So we'll deploy them. That way we can have our airborne units operate off of that. Like we are gonna get a couple finished up infantry. Sonar is wrapped up. We do have size 7. Alright, we could start railgun research. But I would rather finish up naval cannons. And we should have 2 months until the war is effectively ready to break out. So let's get our airfields in reserve. The ones from Japan are going to be the primary airfields for supporting South Korea and North Korea, or I guess Korea, I should call it. It is just Korea now. Yeah, so we'll base a bunch of air superiority fighters out of here. And at least a couple thousand. I'm not going to be able to do very long-ranged airborne operations, I don't imagine. But I definitely want to have a couple key ones done. First, the 2 airborne operations, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to slow it down because we're going to approach the date for declaration pretty quick. Is we want to expand these bridgeheads here. Right? So targets could be airfields here. Realistically, this port here. I think there's, yeah, that port as well. And you could go all the way up to Shanghai with actual targets. Blue attacks are just going to be land defense for now. We'll probably do an offensive this way. We're going to probably hold this territory here. So we'll do a defense there. And just use airborne units to do offensive operations to stop resupply. And try and just land in this arc. I just don't know if this is controlled by a different territory. Alright, so we'll celebrate diversity. Get more base political power gain. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move these units into this division here. Yes, Pacific Command does have some of the more promoted units on the map. Let's go ahead and take 6 of these guys. I don't really care if they're trained because they're very susceptible to death. We'll call these PACCOM Defense Force. I'm gonna give them a commander and hopefully they live. That's all it is. They're just we hope you survive kind of unit. Looks like, yeah, China is making the moves they would need to make. Alright, we'll get them moved over to here as they're assigning units. I may try and have a naval invasion set up. It's just not going to happen fast enough to rescue anyone. I just feel like they're all just going to get immediately obliterated. Alright, well, we'll let them stand or organize. I'm gonna go ahead and move foot soldiers into some of these other divisions. Because we're just gonna need bodies. Let's start recruiting special operations units, so some more sniper brigades. But we're gonna want at least 8. Preferably 8. I'm not sold on mechanized infantry, but if I am gonna make it, 16 is a good number. We'll do 1 cycle. That's 16. I don't know if I have enough. It looks like I do. I won't have enough of the best APCs we can make, but looks like I have enough in reserve. Let's go ahead and create a variant. Doing an upgrade. Gives us some bonuses here. We'll make this the A2. All right, so that 12,000 we have to upgrade is not insignificant. All right. Like all our ground infantry are trained. The helicopter, well, not all of them. Most of them, though. Enough of them. We'll go ahead and stop the training with those. Pacific Command. Kind of pretty spread out. Let's go ahead and regroup over on the Taiwanese island. And we'll stop the training exercises, get some promotions where we can for org bonuses and health. And this division has took a ton of casualties over the years. For the third medal here, that's good. Like Army Group 1 doing fine. Army Group 3 looks fine. We do have a bunch of airborne units that we're going to go ahead and send in. So let's knock down the speed real quick while we get these orders set out. Yeah, so we're going to try and entrap this section first. So all the 1st Airborne Division here is going to be set up to do is take land around these bridgeheads. Looks like there's a port right here as well. But yeah, we definitely just want to land to create a buffer. And we'll go from here. Probably catch some of the reinforcements while they're running over. Oh, that's great. I don't need that happening. Love it. Let me clear all the orders. That way, I don't have that problem anymore. Alright, alright, alright. Mess that up. We'll just go... Don't you love it? You have research pop up when you're clicking buttons and you click it on accident. Nice. Unable to move. Great, so I glitched one out somehow. Of course I did. It's all ruined. I ruined the whole plan. Uh, Go ahead with that one. I don't know, that's pretty jacked up as far as like what I clicked. It was better the first time I did that. Unfortunately, this is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead. And use all of these right there. We're just gonna siege the whole thing. This, I think these Marines are dead. I'm fine with that. We're just gonna sacrifice them because they'll be able to take this from us double assault. So they'll have an advantage attacking us. And since they move so many units there, there's no chance they can hold out. If they do, I'm gonna be very shocked. And we are landing in the mountains here. There are no supply routes. So as long as we can cut this rail line, they're pretty much done. Here, we're going to be hitting this rail line as hard as we can. This port as well. Let's go ahead and get these airborne units set up. I'm going to want to use them specifically to cut a lot of these supply routes. And you have two locations along the coast, up here, and then this one over here. This is kind of a dead end. So taking this port, this airfield, and these supply nodes are going to be huge. So if we can, we're going to land with the intention of just making our own supply route. I think I can get away with 5. Maybe 6. I'll use 6 so we can take it from 2 different areas. And then this northern flank here. I'm gonna hit that node. Cut off supplies to all these locations. If I can, I want to follow this line because it'll actually connect both fronts. too. So if we take this whole rail line all the way, that'd be really nice. All right, so let's go ahead and take this. I'm going to say I can move a lot of these air superiority fighters into the Chinese areas. Go ahead and move all our bombing, logistics strikes, interception, and then move these forward wings. Yep, we do have fighters here. We're going to move them this way. We have another 500 that are stacked for some reason. I guess some airfield at some point died or blew up or whatever. We'll move that for efficiency. All right, we got our air assault choppers for Pacific Command. We'll go ahead and send these into the correct divisions. All right, so that'll strengthen Pacific Command. Foot infantry here. I do need to send this to its own location. Need to have some defense up in these island chain here. All right, so bureaucratic drain is gone. All right, we're gonna need offensive air superiority. About 2,000 fighters. I don't really want to use the chem. If I can avoid it. I may have to, though. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use the chem. We'll use the older chem 2 A3. Or do we want to use the base chem? I think we use the base chem. Yeah, because we have about 2,000 base chems. If we can start hitting numbers of enemy fighters with these and reducing them, then we can roll out the 3,000 upgraded chems. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and use every single one of those. Fill that out. Alright, let's see. Resupplies. Honestly, this island would be good for some heavy lift. Do 350 heavy lift off this island. Go ahead and add them as support. I'm going to do naval patrol planes out of this island. We'll do some P3Cs. And we'll do naval strikes and everything like that. Well, I could do it all the way down there. I'm going to go ahead and do it all the way down here. No. Here. We'll do the Yellow Sea. There's too many ports. You can do the same thing out of Jeju, the Jeju Island chain. I think we have more, right? Yeah. That's an AWACS plane. I didn't throw that there too. Gunships as well, that's funny. Alright. We'll deploy all these. So we'll push these down further south. Alright. Let it go. That should be most of the battle plans we need. Doing strikes all around. Air superiority in eastern China. Naval strikes with pretty large naval forces. This is going to be kind of a weakness. Let's see if we can run this off Okinawa. Do we have more naval strike planes? Old bombers. Wow. Let's field them. Because these are more modern naval patrol craft. Alright. We're going to go ahead and fill. We don't have boats, but we do have aircraft, so we'll cover all the ocean with what we can. Justification is ready. Yeah, so China versus North Korea. I think we get it on. Let's do it. Let's see how bad this battle plan works. Okay. We'll go ahead and strike. Pacific Command is going to be on standby. Go ahead and get. I'm not going to delete any orders yet. Oriental Command. Full on assault. Let's go. We've got defenses that are working, but we're going to lose units. Oh, crashed. Alright, I'm not actually sure where this crashed. It looks like it's pretty far back though, because I don't have some of Okinawa filled out with planes. So let me fix this up. Not heavy lift. Maritime Patrol. I don't know. Guess we're just gonna go with this. I think all of my airborne divisions are set. Like everything on land is set. China is moving units around. I'm gonna have to slow this down for the next fight. Alright, so the justification is done. We're gonna declare war. Hour 1 is first strikes. And assaults. So let's look at our... It should be taking place. Oh, so we get an economic boom. That's pretty cool. And it crashes. All right. Try this again. Crash. Let me get everything set up from the last time. It's crashed twice. So I know I have to wait through this autosave before I initiate the assault on China. I'm just going to click through all these maritime patrol like planes. Get all this lined up. And East China Sea. All right, let's go. Apparently declaring war at the end of the month, right when the autosave is, and having all your airborne divisions attack is not ideal. So we can declare war right now, but we're gonna wait. There, that looked like a save. I'm gonna wait till like the 3rd of August. All right. We're declaring war. All the airborne divisions are going on assault right away. And our ground invasion is starting. As we try and hold what we have here by Taiwan. Looks like they did add some units around. They did do a large assault here. That's pretty wild. All right, so we got an autosave that actually went through. That's a good sign for me. I think airborne division should be hitting the field. Too many airborne fights? Ugh. All right, so I think it's pretty apparent that either the mod or my PC can't handle whatever war is going down here. So I'm gonna call this series here. Uh, we basically got North Korea to be a superpower. We weren't quite there. That's unfortunate. I'll definitely have to give it a shot another time when they get the mod fixed back up to like a stable place, and also like naval invasions. So kind of some major issues that we ran into. I am gonna avoid playing island nations with the next series because I cannot do naval invasions. It's like just not gonna be possible if you can only have one naval invasion plan and none of the bonuses are applied to boost the capacity so that you can only have 4 units. That's a little ridiculous. So I'm thinking Colombia and Australia are going to be the next series. So I hope to see y'all there if you've enjoyed this. And if you've subscribed, really appreciate it. Always use that. It's just kind of a motivator to see how I'm doing. And then appreciate all the likes and comments and advice. It's always useful. Even if you think you're being mean, tell me. it's fine. Anyway, thanks again. I'll catch y'all around.